Welcome back to Your View. Every year, we celebrate the unique role girls play in our world. Report has it that the words 1 billion girls are a source of power, energy, and creativity. Despite this, report also has it that the girl child is marginalized, she's abused, relegated, shoved aside, and given second place in the society. How can girls overcome injustice, crisis, and difficult circumstances? Joining us on the show is a project lead, Gender Mobile Initiative, Omowunmi Ogunrotimi. Welcome to the show, Omowunmi.
Thank you very much.
So we've been hearing girl child, and that's what we're celebrating today.
Yes.
Tell us what your project is doing to help the girl child situation.
Okay, so Gender Mobile Initiative, like you all know, is an accessible to all intervention platform designed to provide specialized support services to survivors of social injustice. And we're leveraging technology to achieve this in form of a 24/7 dedicated helpline and a web platform called www.gendermobile.org.
Okay, Omowunmi, so the theme for the International Day of the Girl Child this year, 2017, is Justice for the Girl Child. Now, the marginalized girl child is not, she doesn't foster it on herself, is the culture, is the parents. The girl child who is educated is the parent. So if you're looking for justice for the girl child, it has to be our culture, our policy. So it's from leadership downwards. What's Gender Project Initiative doing to start from top?
Okay, so when you look at the way things are at the moment in Nigeria, you realize that it boils down to individual and institutional response. And so on Gender Mobile, what we're doing is curative, but we realize that there's a reciprocal relationship between curative measures and preventive measures. So as a result of this, we're trying to, of course, develop advocacy measures that will drive behavioral change. And so we believe that by the time we also do this, I mean the curative measures, in terms of taking up issues, you know, issues that probably affect the girl child. Imagine that you've been violated, you've been domestically abused, you've been sexually violated, and you come on the platform to get help, either by way of legal advice or you need legal redress. But a lot of people don't speak out because they feel that you need hundreds of thousands to be able to afford legal services.
So you come in from the legal angle?
We're providing legal support, psychosocial, trauma counseling. So it's a one-stop center to provide a range of comprehensive services.
Okay. So one of the issues a lot of girls face is that they are uneducated. You don't know your rights. You probably will not be able to access the internet or be able to make phone call because you are uneducated. The statistics are shocking because latest release says that from 5% out of school in the southeast, we have 52% of girls out of school in the northeast.
Okay.
You know, so the number is, you have huge number. They don't have any awareness of what you're doing, and they probably won't take advantage of what you're doing. Yeah. Is there anything your initiative is doing to reach out to those that are not educated enough to use the internet and come on the platform?
Yeah, we're doing that. So for example, like I said, we have a dedicated 24/7 helpline. We have also factored in the fact that not everybody has access to internet. So with this, we're going to be making use of the local media to reach out to people. We're going to be making use of information, education, and communication.
You're not already doing it?
No, because the platform is going to be officially up today.
Oh.
Yes, but in the build-up to this, we've been coming up with advocacy measures to drive this whole process. So today is the International Day of the Girl Child, and we're unveiling the face of this project today. It's a long-term initiative.
Okay. What are you doing to change the orientation of parents? Because I deal with I'm a lawyer, I deal with some abuses.
Okay.
I have a case presently, and the mom is saying, is our uncle, is from our village, and the matter should just die down, an abuse of a 4-year-old girl. So what are you doing with your agency to, to sensitize parents to understand how important it is to stand up and protect the girl child? Okay,
so like I said earlier, that this is more institutional than just personal. And so at that level, we're going to be doing a number of local organizing, visit schools, organize town hall meetings for parents to educate them on the need to support their children, and that no money is worth it to actually sell off their children. And at this level, for example, the issue of child marriage, there's a new approach to things, because even at the level of the United Nations, there's the belief that when you educate the girl child, there's every likelihood that, you know, she wouldn't get married early, because there's a reciprocal relationship between delay in marriage and, of course, increased yes. So to that extent, as it is right now, we're also trying to see how we can begin to take up cases that borders on child marriage. It's unfortunate that the loopholes inherent in the Nigerian constitution or our legal framework is so obvious that to an extent you'd see that we have contradictory provisions as to when a child can be married. And so if we are also able to take up cases, we need a definite court pronouncement on the legality of child marriage. We need to stop presuming that, okay, Sharia law is obtainable here, civil law is obtainable here, and as a result, we should just, you know, all keep quiet. So if we're able to take up a case on this, we go to court. Let's get a definite court pronouncement. If the court says it is illegal, then we can begin to develop advocacy around legislative amendments.
So I thought we already had a case. There are a few cases.
The Child's Right Act.
Of course, which is, of course, a byproduct of the Convention of the Rights of the Child.
It's not, you know, it's not legal enough.
Has it been domesticated?
No. The thing is, Nigeria domesticated it, but 24 states of Nigeria adopted it as their state laws. Now, we have 12 states. Yes, and these are states where you have Sharia dominance in those states. So how do we develop advocacy around educating those people? So it is institutional. And so if we get a definite court pronouncement, let the court make a pronouncement that, you know, generally across board, child marriage is illegal. Then we can begin to look at how we initiate the process around advocacy that we should have a legislative, you know, change.
I was going to ask what kind of help that you need. I know that you need media help, you know. Another one would be funding. But on the issue of policy, for instance, the Senate, was it last year, threw out the gender equality bill. How will that bill, if passed, help your advocacy? And what do we need as a people, you know, to help push it to make sure that it's passed?
Okay, so firstly, as a people, we need to begin to get conscious of the fact that we have human rights that are rights by virtue of the fact that we are human beings. And we don't have special rights accruing to the man. We don't have special rights accruing to the girl child. Human rights are human rights. And so by the time we get conscious of this fact, we also would be aware of the fact that we need to start holding people accountable for some of these things. And so what we have is things we have on paper, but we don't make efforts to push for enforceability of some of these things. So as a people, of course, we need media support, because a lot of people are not aware that some of these things are happening. And that's why we are also going all out to see how we can reach out to media outfits to help us project the message.
Are you also talking to churches and mosques to see?
Yeah, because religious leaders, cultural leaders, they have a major role to play in all of this.
All right, so as we're celebrating today,
you have your work cut out for you.
Yes,
it's a whole lot of work.
Well, congratulations on your work. Whenever you need help, just let us know. We'll always support you, no matter what. We're going to take a break now.
Well done.
When we come back, Aziza Ashoala joins the couch. Stay with us. We'll be right back.